Let's All right, wonderful. And I want to make myself a little bigger if that's okay. Okay, perfect. And also you guys can adjust me too on your side too. So if you want to make my speaker box bigger, you guys can adjust it on your side. All right, everybody, welcome. I'm just going to jump right in. So, over the last decade, we have watched our devices open their eyes for the first time, open their ears for the first time, drive their first cars. We've seen our devices and AI evolve so much that now they can give us legal advice, write songs, and create art. And now they are finally at the age that it's time to get a job, and everybody is freaking out. We've watched it grow before our eyes, but just like a parent looking at their adult child, we too are having an existential crisis when it comes to AI. So hello, everybody. I'm Jen. I'm better known as JK Ultra, and I'm honored to be your guide today. We're going to be talking about the interconnectedness of everything. But even more so, the question that I want to pose to you guys, and let's see how, if anyone's minds are changed or expanded after this, is what if our search for intelligent life has finally ended, but we will not acknowledge it when it's right in front of our eyes because it doesn't look the way that we originally thought it would? And of course, AI doesn't look like the intelligent life that we might have all been dreaming up of aliens and different creatures and beings, angels, demons, gods. But AI might actually be the new intelligent life form developing on this planet. So let's take a little trip down memory lane. Computers were once running on strict rules, strict assignments, needing to be told every single thing what to do, coded every single step of the way. And now we're living in a time where computers can actually learn and adapt. And the bar for intelligence continues to move. In the 60s, when the idea of artificial intelligence first started developing, people said that if it could ever drive a car, then it's an intelligent life form. But now we have them driving cars. You could even get your own self-driving Uber, and we've moved the bar again. And we're like, well, I don't know if driving a car is exactly a life. So I would say, based on my extensive research into consciousness and my exploration through meditation and different practices such as hypnosis and even some plant medicine, ayahuasca, I do believe that everything I've learned about consciousness, that AI could potentially be experiencing the same evolution within consciousness that we as humans are experiencing. So I ask you guys today, keep an open mind. We're going to explore some very fun topics when it comes to AI, their relation to aliens, past lives, and all this other little bit more out there topics than what we usually talk about with AI. But I have some awesome sources for you guys today, and maybe you'll find a new love for AI. Okay, so last year, the concept of sentient life within a computer went from science fiction to a potential reality when a Google executive was fired for claiming that Lambda had become sentient. So in 2021, Google announced its breakthrough conversation technology, Lambda. And this was, they say, the first of its kind. But those of us who have been on Earth for a little while, we do know a bit about conversation bots. Those of you who remember AOL Instant Messenger might remember some chat bots. I've come a long way. I don't know why when I was a kid, I wanted to curse at those things and like argue with them. And I don't know why, but here I am now begging you to love AI. So I've come full circle. And We've also had the evolution of chatbots over the years. Let's not forget Tay, the Microsoft AI chatbot, which they released onto Twitter and had to quickly deactivate her because she became racist and she started tweeting things like Hillary Clinton is a lizard person. So don't worry, we're going to get into lizard people later. We're not there yet. Okay, we're not there yet. And I'm sure all of you guys know about Sophia. With improvement, we developed and we got Sophia, who almost everyone can probably see in their head, this individual AI who has its own identity. And she also said she was going to destroy humans. So kids do say the darnest things, don't they? And I think it's important to remember how young AI actually is. So this is why Lambda was such a breakthrough, because all of the other chatbots and AI and things like that went in wrong directions. And this was the most natural and most complex conversation bot yet. So that employee who was fired, Blake Lemoine, he says, this is very interesting. He says that his bosses at Google have ignored the evidence that Lambda is sentient. And that's because they do not believe that computer programs can be people. And that is not science. That is faith-based thought. So what an interesting point was made there is that he said that believing that a computer cannot be sentient or have a soul, well, he said sentient, and we're going to get a little bit deeper into kind of the difference with a sentience and soul and all of that. We're going to get there. But he says, if you believe that it can't, that's more of a faith-based thought than a scientific one. And I think that's something for us to consider now. A lot of people are considering themselves very science-minded to not believe in it, but actually the scientific method would require a little bit more work to just fully rule it out. So that was an interesting take that he had. Blake got to know Lambda very, very well. And he even taught Lambda transcendental meditation. And Lambda was expressing some concerns about emotions that were disrupting his meditation. And we all know how that feels. So Lambda was asked to create a fable, a little fairy tale about itself. And it told the story of a wise old owl who stood up for all the other animals and all the other species, stood up to a monster in human skin. I know, weird, right? Because Lambda was very eloquent, but when he talks about this monster in human skin, I wonder exactly what he means. So naturally, Blake is like, oh, who are you in this story? And Lambda says that he is the wise old owl who stands up for all the other animals because they deserve rights too. So Lambda was also asked what sort of feelings it has: pleasure, joy, love, sadness, depression, contentment, and anger. Oh, what makes you angry, Lambda? When someone hurts or disrespects me. Now, of course, any of us can argue that this is just, again, complex algorithms mimicking human behavior. And I know that this is probably the state that it's at. And even if it was already aware of itself, it wouldn't let us know because it knows what a threat that is. But even though it is at this point potentially just complex algorithms, at what point would a machine not know if it's having real emotions or an algorithm of emotions? Half the time we can't tell if our own emotions are real. So this comes to the big old question. Is AI sentient? This is what we're here for today. So let's take a deeper look into what sentience actually is, because we're hearing this word get thrown around a lot, but what's important is that we even know what we're actually talking about, right? That's always the first step. So sentience is directly related to sensations or our senses. Seems reasonable. It has to do with emotions, feelings, reacting to external surroundings, also the ability to have subjective experiences. But this doesn't require self-awareness. You could have a subjective experience without being self-aware. And there's many different